Hello, I'm Klara Li, and in this vlog we're going to Stockholm to see a very special concert. Can you guess whose? Hello and welcome to a new vlog. I am actually at Båstad train station waiting for my train to Stockholm. I am super excited for this trip because I have so many fun things planned out. And I'm gonna be staying at my childhood friend Elin's place. And I've known her since kindergarten, and I remember when we were kids, we always used to talk about, oh, when we grow up, we're gonna move to Stockholm and we're gonna live this fancy big city life. And now she does, or kind of, because she lives in the suburbs, and I don't think she's rich yet, but maybe she's getting there, I don't know. But it's fun that dreams come true, after all. And me myself think it's gonna be super fun visiting Stockholm because I haven't been there in years, so I'm really curious to rediscover the city a little bit. So the main reason for my Stockholm trip is actually that I'm gonna see Taylor Swift's concert, which I'm super excited about because she's been my favorite artist and biggest inspiration for the longest time. And I don't want to make this whole video only about Taylor Swift and my love for her music, but why not talk a little bit about it? So I started listening to her music in my early teens, and I don't know, I totally grew up with her music, and it was such a soundtrack to my life. And especially the album Fearless, which is still to this day my absolute favorite album, because I think it was definitely the soundtrack to both my middle school and my high school experience, because it's so much about love, partly, but it's also super much about your own self-growth journey and growing up and finding your place in this world. But I also really love Reputation, because I remember Reputation came out at a time in my life that was really dark, and I could really resonate with the album because, I don't know, I really felt those feelings. I really felt like this music really described, and it vibrated in the same way as I was feeling. Like shit, basically. But I think Reputation is that kind of album that can both be interpreted as really dark, angry and resentful, but it can also be interpreted as full of love and full of healing and self-growth. And I think nowadays that's mostly what I hear in the songs. So I still really love it, and I really love listening to songs like Ready For It, and I'm walking in the evening and I'm completely feeling it, and I'm like, exactly, this is how it is. And I think oftentimes favorite albums comes down to, at least for me, emotional connection and the emotional impact it has made on a certain time period in your life, or an experience, or other like really strong times in your life. Because I love all Taylor Swift's albums. I think all of them has had a really deep meaning in my life. And it's crazy because at the time that Lover came out, like just a couple months after that, I met my boyfriend. And at the time 1989 came out, it was like long ago, I was in my last year of middle school in Sweden, and I was about to move to Sundsvall, which was in my last vlog. That was my Sundsvall vlog, so if you want to watch that, side note on that. But it came out, and I remember the song Welcome to New York. I felt it also represented my move to Sundsvall, because it was like a big life change for me, because I was moving away from the small town where I lived and where I felt really misunderstood, because I was creative and I was interested in all these alternative things. I also felt like, I don't know, my sexuality, because I'm bisexual, didn't really fit in there because everything was so like heteronormative. And I was like, I'm gonna go to Sundsvall and I'm gonna have like this big city experience. although it's like, I think it's like 60,000 people there. But it's a big difference when you come from a place with 2,000 people. But well, that's not actually like the main thing I want to talk about in this video, because these thoughts about Taylor Swift and the impact she has made on my life led me to think about expanders in general and how important it is to be inspired by people and get new angles and new perspectives in your own life. But more about that later. For now, let's experience Stockholm together. Once again, I came to the conclusion that I am a very old 25-year-old. Because this, okay, I'm gonna switch the camera around, is my friend Elin. Hey. And Elin, yeah, we had planned that we were gonna do like a chill nights in, and then Elin was like, no, I want to go to the nearby city and go to this party with this rappers group and it's gonna be like a total blast. And I was like, no, that sounds like a nightmare. But for other people,
it's like a dream.
My friend from the same generation, it sounds like a dream. It sounds like the Friday night dream. And when you know each other this long, you can make compromises. So, therefore, she's going out, I'm staying in. So,
cheers to that.
Cheers to that. Ow! No, it's not like I never go out, but this...
It is like you never go out.
Maybe.
Truly is.
Truly is. But in this case, like this concert, I think I even seen doesn, the band is called. I think I even seen them one time, long time ago. And it was... I can't say this shit, because I don't know, maybe they're good, but I don't know. I am tired. I've been in Stockholm for 1.5 days and I'm already exhausted. And all we've done is, yesterday we went to Elin's other friend and had a picnic. And today we went to a lake and then we went grocery shopping. And then we went home and Elin had a wardrobe clean out. And that's all that happens. And then, who had a breakdown? You. Yeah.
Honest.
Okay. Yeah, and now she had some kind of energy rush and wants to go out, and I'm not, so I'm staying in with candy and wine. Great times, great compromises. Okay, so now that Elin went out, I want to take the time to talk a little bit about expanders and how to get some new input into your life. Because basically what expanders are is people who inspires us. It can be someone who succeeded in a similar career field that you wish to succeed in, or it can be someone who has great skills at painting or storytelling or filmmaking. And it can also be someone who comes from a similar background as you, and someone who faced similar obstacles and got through it in a really life-changing way. It can be anyone. It can be a celebrity, or it can be a friend or an acquaintance. Yeah, but I think the most important reason to let a lot of expanders into your life and to take part of other people's journeys is because it's important to remember that the world and the possibilities in this world are bigger than we oftentimes can imagine. Because for myself, for example, oftentimes I struggle with the limiting beliefs that the only possible way to make a sustainable income is by having a normal job, a normal employment. But I know it's not true, and it's not that I think it's easy to succeed as a creative or a content creator, but I know it's possible, and I don't know, I try to remember this, and it's hard sometimes because I often doubt how it's ever gonna be possible to create a life for myself that is so far beyond anything anyone around me has ever done. And therefore I love going on YouTube and watch other YouTubers do their vlogs, because it reminds me that there's people out there who also wants the same thing and who has come way further on their own journeys. I think it's important to remember to take in this whole expander input into your life with an abundance mindset, because I don't think it's good to look at other people and compare yourself and feel small because you feel like you're so far behind them in life. I don't think it's good to look down on other people and think, oh, but well, they don't do it as good as I could have done if I would only. Because, I don't know, we're all on our own journeys, and I think it's better to look at it from the perspective that someone else's success doesn't take away from your own, and that someone else's success is rather a proof that it's possible to do things in a different way than the usual path of life is, written out for us. And I think it's important to remember that life often takes unexpected turns, and that the conditions change, and that something that seems super far away now might not be that far away in a year or in 2 years. And I don't mean that we should just sit around and wait for things to come to us and to not actively trying to make the change ourselves. But I don't want to limit myself. I don't want us to limit ourselves to only see the things that we think is possible, the things that we think is the only possible way forward, and to only go for the safe option. Because I think it's good to take risks, to take well-calculated risks, but not fear-based decisions. I think it's good to expect the unexpected, to be open for things to work out in a way that we could never imagine. Because I think in that way we can shape our path as we go, and we don't have to see the end goal and see the concrete steps to get there, because maybe it doesn't work out that way. And I think I'm trying to talk to myself a lot when I'm saying this, because as I said, I'm usually super stressed about the financial side of life, and I don't know. Life is risky sometimes, but it's also exciting that it is a bit risky. I feel like I can ramble on about this forever, but hopefully I made my point across. And I don't know, I believe in myself, I believe in you, I believe in us. And I think that a lot of good things can come out of taking risks and trying to live life as purposefully as we can, and try to find as much meaning as we can from life. laser.
Tjena, tjena! Ja.
Ska du springa runt sådär?